This is the regular meeting of the Mobile City Council, Tuesday, October 28th. Please stand for our invocation led by Reverend Tony Laguerre, Public Safety Chaplain, and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Good morning, and let's pray together on a beautiful day. Father, we thank you for your goodness. We thank you for the gift of your Son. And we thank you for friends. We gather here at the gates of our city. We posture ourselves in humility, and we ask for your presence. We give thanks to you today, particularly, Lord, for our godly mayor, and we salute his tenure and all that's been accomplished at his leadership. And may this house resonate with just thanks for a good man in his leadership. Favor our time together in this place today. In Christ's name, we pray. Amen. Amen.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, President Small,
here.
Vice President Gregory,
Here.
Councilmember Penn,
Here.
Councilmember Carroll,
Here.
Councilmember Reynolds,
Here.
Councilmember Daves,
Here.
Councilmember Woods.
Here.
Statement of rules.
And good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. It's good to see everyone this morning. Welcome to our October 28, 2025 meeting. At this meeting, we do have rules. At this time, I ask if anyone have any type of electronic device, including cell phones, please at this time put on the off or the vibrate position, the off or the vibrate position. Any person that is desiring to address the Mobile City Council must sign in indicating the resolution, the ordinance, or public hearing agenda item before entering the meeting. When addressing the council, the speaker must give his or her name. Any person that is desiring to speak to the council on a non-agenda item must contact the city clerk office no later than 2:00 p.m. the Thursday prior to the council meeting. The subject that he or she wishes to express to the Mobile City Council must be identified and pertain to the city of Mobile business. Anyone who has not given proper notice to the city clerk office and wish to speak on a non-agenda item would not be allowed to address this council. Each speaker is allowed 3 minutes to address this council. A bell will sound to indicate the end of 2 minutes. 1 minute remains for summarizing. Second bell indicates that your time has expired. When addressing this council, there will be no personal address to any individual council members. All statements are to be made to the chair, who will recognize any council member who wishes to respond. To maintain decorum, there will be no undue applause or public outcry allowed. Madam Clerk.
Approval of minutes of October 14th and 21st.
So moved.
Second.
Properly moved in second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Minutes approved.
Communications from Mayor Stimpson.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good to see everybody here this morning. Boom. Now about that. Well, the first, I've got a couple of announcements, and then we have a couple of presentations that we're going to make. But first, I'd like to call upon Bradley Byrne and former Congressman Joe Bonner, now President Bonner, to come give us some recent developments about workforce development. So, Bradley and Joe.
Members of the council. Turn the mic on.
Got it. Members of the council, mayor, we're not here to talk about workforce development. We're here to talk about you.
Oh.
When you came to me in 2012 and said you wanted to run for mayor, I thought you were crazy. But it was good crazy. And it's been very good for this community that you were crazy enough to do it. You got the city's finances in order. You rebuilt the fire department and the police department. You reached out there and started thinking about things that would make the quality of life in this city better. Rebuilt the capital infrastructure with the help of the council. And in order to do all that, you had to bring all of us together in one Mobile. And one Mobile is going to be your legacy for decades and decades to come. We at the Chamber are charged with doing the economic development for the city and for the county. But we don't get to do that if we don't do the blocking and tackling. And you do the blocking and tackling. Y'all do the blocking and tackling. Without it, we don't make those changes. Mobile is in its golden age, and we're in that golden age, because of your leadership. And the people in this community are deeply grateful to you and your family for all that you've done to put us where we are today. And the best compliment we can pay to you is to make sure that after you leave Monday, we're going to keep it going. Thank you for all that you've done for this community, and God bless you and your family.
I never did like following Congressman Byrne. You know, Mayor, everyone here today has a story to tell. And this is especially true for you and for you, the members of the City Council. Our elected leaders especially have a story to tell. Mobile's own story first began being written back in 1703. And it has been captured by several notable historians. People like Peter Joseph Hamilton, Jay Higginbotham, Dr. E.O. Wilson, and John Sledge, to name just a few. But Mobile's story hasn't just been recorded, it has evolved, seemingly with the passing of each generation and with the addition of each new significant milestone for this port city that, as we all know, is 116 years older than the great state we live in and call home. As this latest chapter of the story of Mobile winds down this week, and we get ready for a new storyteller and even more amazing opportunities that are in front of us, it is only natural for all of us and for all the people who can't be here today in person but are here in prayer, in thought, and spirit, that we pause to offer our heartfelt thanks to our 118th mayor for the many signature accomplishments that have been recorded during your 12 years in office. Of course, Mayor Simpson would be the very first person to say that not one of the accomplishments that will be discussed, not one, has been because of him or any one person. And he would be right about that. But as everyone knows, leadership requires people to know when to lead and also to understand when to serve. And in Mayor Simpson's case, we have been incredibly blessed to have a man of unquestionable integrity who knew how to do both, and in fact did both exceedingly well. Beginning with the original vision for One Mobile as outlined in his first campaign, Mayor Simpson and our other leaders, those who are here today and those who've come before, set out to do big things that others had only dreamt of doing. Goals such as moving the airport from West Mobile down to Brookley Field. Check. Building a brand new $300 million civic center. Check. Transforming the Port of Mobile into one of the fastest growing ports in America, complete with the deepest shipping channel in the entire Gulf. Check. Helping to secure additional investments for both Airbus and Austal, along with literally dozens of other companies to create thousands of new jobs in the pipeline. And in the instance of Airbus, helping Mobile become the fourth largest commercial aircraft manufacturing hub in the world. Check. Securing more than 24 pay raises for city workers and leading the initiative for a successful vote by the citizens of West Mobile to come be a part of the city. Helping for the first time in years restore Mobile's position as Alabama's second largest city in the state once again. Check. And while many people don't fully realize all that you've done working behind the scenes, you have led the effort to build consensus so that one day soon, hopefully, we will have a brand new bridge crossing over Mobile River and Mobile Bay. And that is a big check in many ways. Without embellishing, there are so many other important accomplishments that have been recorded during your 12 years. Lower crime rates, the successful implementation of the Capital Improvement Fund, reducing bond indebtedness and while seeing multiple credit rating increases from both Moody's and S&P. The list truly seems endless. But as we all celebrate what you have meant to us, I'm confident, knowing you as long as I have, that you would much prefer, rather than praise you, that we would simply thank the good Lord above for the many blessings that he has bestowed upon us during this time in office. We know you are a man of strong faith and deep conviction. Mayor, when you addressed the graduates of the University of South Alabama just a few months ago at our spring commencement, where we graduated our 100,000th graduate to have attended our university and graduate, you challenged them both as a class and individually to persevere. You will recall you said, graduates, for some of you, there's a call upon your life. Others have a dream to be fulfilled. Don't let the naysayers thwart either. Thank you, Mayor, for answering the call yourself 12 years ago to serve when you did. As Mordecai urged his cousin Esther, for unto such a time as this, truly, Mayor Stimson, this has been such a time. And we thank God Almighty for you, for Jean, for your family, for our city leaders, council, and administrative staff who've helped make this a golden moment in the history of our wonderful city. God bless you all.
Well, I certainly didn't expect that. I found out recently people don't tell me the whole truth. Sometimes maybe I don't want to know it, but thank you for your very kind words. What an honor it is to call y'all friends. And when we found out that President Bonner and you were going to be the president of the University of South Alabama, and Bradley, you were going to be the president of the Chamber of Commerce, I just felt like, that this is a golden opportunity for the three of us to work together to try to move this city forward in a way that maybe previously people hadn't had the opportunity. So what a blessing. Some of my announcements, though, moving right along, is that it's a great day if you look out on the waterfront and you see the new Carnival Spirit out there, which will sail later today. And then just so that you know it, it'll be 2027 when the Carnival Valor will come in and be sailing around 12 months out of the year. So the relationship with Carnival continues to just improve. So we're grateful for that. Thankful that Joe Snowden and the team at the cruise terminal do what they do to make sure that relationship is good. But Mobile is known as having the best customer service among many of the Carnival ports. So thank you for that. At this time, I'd like to recognize an Employee of the Month. And it's very fitting that the final Employee of the Month is my Executive Assistant, Karen Williamson. So, over a decade of dedicated service, I mean, she is the heart and the soul of the 10th floor. No matter what needs to be done, Karen will do it, from washing everybody else's dirty dishes to unloading the dishwasher to talking to irate citizens who come in, who call in because somebody else in the city maybe have not done exactly what they were supposed to. But to sit outside and hear her, some of the conversations, you just have to say, thank goodness she has the patience of Job, because that's what it takes to be the gatekeeper to the mayor's office, and how she juggles the schedule with all the calls upon me and Jim Barber and some of the others on the executive team. It's only because she deeply cares, she loves her job, and she's really good at it. But she gets a lot of the credit for keeping us on track every day. So Karen, it's my pleasure to give you the Employee of the Month award. And so I also have an exceptional, that's why I was asking you where these were this morning. But it's the Award of Excellence. So thank you for everything you have done. God bless you, and we love you.
Council President, while they were taking that photograph yesterday, and the mayor always delegates some pretty complex issues to me, but yesterday he said, I want to recognize Karen, but I don't want her to know. Do you think you could get her down there at 10:30 and act like you're going to recognize me? And I said, that's the easiest thing he's ever given.
I'm going to be very brief. Proverbs 16:9 says, a man plans his course, but God orders our steps. And I thank God for ordering my steps that led to this position and has led to this opportunity. And if it's fitting, I'd like to share my award with everybody who is in a position of service, be it in the field or in the office, because without you, we could not do the heavy lift and complete the tasks that we need to. So thank you to all my fellow City of Mobile workers. Thank you, Mayor Stimson, Chief of Staff, Ricardo, Scott, Nick, Shayla, Keisha, Rob, all of my colleagues on the 10th floor. It's been a pleasure, and I am happy to be able to continue doing what I'm doing. Thank you so much. Thank you, Council.
Thank you. So the next one, I think that will be a surprise. They don't realize that I'm getting ready to do this. But I'll have an exceptional citizenship medal for someone else who's retiring. He started as a 30-year banking career, and during that banking career, he served as an executive position in the 4 largest cities of the state of Alabama, from Huntsville to Mobile. He retired and then ran as a candidate for City Councilor of District 5. Y'all know I'm talking about Joel Daves. For the last 12 years, he served Mobile with calm judgment, steady leadership, and a deep understanding of finance, of law, public policy, and public service. Over the last several days, I've had an opportunity to reflect upon the finances of the city, and typically I've given Paul Wesch all the credit for the financial situation in the city, of capsulizing it at the very beginning and putting us on the pathway forward. But as I stand before you today, I can tell you that without Joel Daves, Paul would not have been successful. Joel was the conduit into the city council to make sure that the city council understood the things that had to happen that maybe Paul came up with and that others came up with. But he was that steady voice, calm demeanor, forthright in what he had to say, but also knowing that the finances, that nothing worked if the finances did not work. You know, beyond City Hall, he's been involved in the arts community really all across the state. He's raised millions of dollars for various organizations, charitable organizations, chambers of commerce, and so forth. Recently, he was elected to be the President General of the Society of the Cincinnati, whose ideas help preserve the liberty and civic responsibility of the Revolutionary War period. So as the President General, he has to travel all over France and the United States giving speeches. He's been gone for 3 weeks, and during that 3-week period, he had to give 6 speeches in French. Joel, I think everybody wants to hear you give a speech in French today. I haven't told many people that, but I said, I didn't know Joel could speak French. And I said, well, he can now. But just so you understand the significance of that organization, to be a member of it, you have to be a lineal descendant of one of the officers of the Revolutionary War. It can be an officer of the French Army or the American Army. It's the oldest patriotic organization in the United States. So that title is an international title, and that's why he's been in France giving those speeches. And just so you understand the significance of being the President General, George Washington was the first President General, and Alexander Hamilton was the second President General. So how fortunate are we as Mobilians to have him serve in the capacity as City Councilor, giving us the benefit of his knowledge, his courage, his patriotism. So Joel, I'm going to come up there and present you with this medal.
I can't speak French. Those speeches took a lot of preparation and coaching. But I want to say this. Can you all hear me okay? I can remember I went on a chamber trip to Charleston, and it was late 2011 or 2012, and it was kind of rainy, and Sandy and I went out for a walk, and he told me that he was thinking about, he's pretty close to deciding he was going to run for mayor. And I encouraged him in that. And then I started thinking about it. I knew Reggie Copeland wasn't going to run for this seat again. I thought the city was at this really crucial point in its history where we needed strong leadership. And I thought to myself, well, what the hell? If Sandy can run for mayor, I can run for the city council. And in the event I was elected, and I've had the opportunity to serve in this role now for 12 years. And the absolutely remarkable, miraculous things that have happened to the financial condition of the city are the result of the work of Sandy and Paul Wesch. And anything I had to do with that is small, but I'm happy to have helped out wherever I could. Thank you very much for this. I very much appreciate it. Thank you.
Well deserved, President General. And President Bonner, you're exactly right when it comes to you talking about all these things being checked off. There's hundreds of more people that are not in this audience today that share in all of those. And as Karen said, sharing her recognition with all of those that have helped her do that, I have to share whatever recognition, accolades are coming our way. There's so many that have participated in that, and I'm tremendously grateful. But knowing this would be my last meeting, I made a few notes, and so I want to address several different groups. One is to the citizens. And first, I want to thank you for the privilege of representing you. You know, it's been the honor of a lifetime. You know, having the title of mayor opened what otherwise doors that, you know, probably would have been closed. But when you're the mayor, there are a lot of doors that open. But it gave me an opportunity to be able to tell the world about the great things that are happening in the city of Mobile. But those who preceded me, Mayor Jones, Mike Dowell, Arthur Outlaw, they really paved the way. They paved the way to Montgomery, to Washington, to Toulouse, to Hamburg, to London, to Singapore, Paris. The memories of meeting those CEOs and meeting heads of state, possibly, the governors, and even the presidents, those would be memories that I always have. But the ones I enjoyed the most were really meeting children and students, whether it be middle school, high school, and college, and trying to inspire them to chase their dreams to make the world a better place. So again, to all the citizens, thank you for the opportunities that you afforded me. As I said, it's an opportunity of a lifetime. And thank you for your prayers. To the City Council, as public servants, your job isn't easy to fulfill the desires of your constituents and at the same time do things that are in the best interests of the city of Mobile. I want to thank you for partnering with us to get these things done. As you look around your districts and in the city, you should take great pride in the transformation that has occurred. Thank you for the times that you pointed out ways to improve upon the initiatives and the projects. Thank you for doing everything that you did to help us get to yes, to move so many projects forward. Because of you, Mobile is no longer known as the city of perpetual potential, and we're teed up to have unprecedented economic and job growth. To the city employees, thank you for all that you do every day, day in and day out, whether it's fixing potholes, designing roadways, trimming trees. What you do every day is nothing short of amazing. Having worked in the private sector and the public sector, I can tell you, and I'll tell everyone, there are just as many superstars in the public sector as there are the private sector. And giving you the opportunity to shine is certainly something that I think we take great pride in, being able to put you in a position to show the world what you can do, and you have shown them that you can really perform. Anyone who goes to our parks, drives our streets, walks our sidewalks, they know that they're better today than they were 10 years ago. And those who call 911 for emergency services, whether it be for the police or fire medics, they know that among the very best in the nation are going to show up. And that is not an exaggeration. But your intentional efforts to achieve national accreditation is a reflection upon your desire to be the very best. I think I'm correct in saying that Mobile is one of only 2 cities in the nation where all departments are accredited: police, fire rescue, parks and rec, public works, finance. That is amazing, amazing. Now, while it took hard work and teamwork to get that across the finish line in each one of those accreditations, now you have the challenge of making sure that you keep it that way. But it could not have been done without the executive directors that sit here on this front row, plus Shonda, who sitting behind, as well as the directors, many of who are in this auditorium today. So it's through their leadership and the collaboration and working together that y'all have done that. And that's something that the entire city should be very proud of, to know that we have incorporated best practices in everything that we try to do. But I'm of the opinion that none of our city employees are satisfied with just doing best practices. They want to be better than that. So that is my challenge to you. Keep striving to improve. And thank you for what you're doing. I love each and every one of you. And I wish, if I have a regret, and I do have regrets, is that I couldn't spend more time with the city employees and not having to shake the hand of every one of you to tell you thank you for what you've done. To everyone, to the degree that I've possibly been affected, it couldn't have been done without the support of Jean, my children, and my siblings. I would venture to say that Mobile has never had a first lady with the charm, the beauty, the kindness, and the humility that Jean has. Everyone loves her. She's going to be so mad at me for doing that. She'll just have to get over it. My challenge, Mayor Spiro, City Council, city employees, your challenge is to create an environment in the city of Mobile where people want to live here, where they want to raise their children here, where they want to do business here, where they want to grow their businesses, and where they want to choose to vacation here and to visit here. Whether they do this or not is going to depend on you, your actions, and how you treat people. You can't do this alone. You're going to need the support of all law enforcement. I would specifically say the sheriff is very important in that. The district attorney's office, our judges, the county commission, the governor, our legislators, congressmen, senators, and the president. Sometimes people don't think about that, but all of those have the opportunity to help you create the city where people want to do those things here. So I also tell people that what is the secret sauce of Mobile? What's the recipe for what we've been able to do over the last several years? And I'd say it's a combination of 3 things. First, a vision was cast to unite this city, become a safer, more business and family-friendly city, one Mobile. And y'all, we steadfastly pursued that fulfillment. Scripture tells us that where brothers live in harmony, God commands a blessing. It also tells us that God hears and answers our prayers. And all the answers sometimes fall short of what we hope, but they also may exceed our expectations. So secondly, fervently and ongoing prayer by countless people have brought God's favor upon us and opened doors of opportunity. And third, Our willingness to publicly glorify God for our successes completes the recipe for our success. So after having written that, I had an afterthought, which I also wrote down, and this is coming to the end. When things are going good, when you got money in the bank, when people are patting you on the back and telling you how good you are, it's time to be careful, because that can lead to complacency, can lead to sloppiness. Be very careful not to exceed the capacity to execute in an outstanding way. There's only so much you can do well, and everybody wants you to do more, but you got to be measured as you go forward. Right now, Mobile has momentum, so don't sit on your laurels. Don't let up. Challenge yourself to be better, do better, work smarter, cooperate more, be a better teammate. And when I break up a staff meeting, and I'm not breaking this meeting up because this is CJ's, I always say, let's go get them, boys and girls.
Madam Clerk.
Adoption of the agenda.
So move.
Second.
Properly moved and second. Any discussion?
Yes, sir, Mr. President.
Yes, Vice President.
I move to suspend the rules in order to add two resolutions, 60-1393 and 60-1394, to move those to the top of the agenda.
Second.
Request that we move the vote on 60-1394 first and 60-1393 second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
And before we get going, I request that everyone just take a minute before you go out the doors. Hang with us.
All right. Madam Clerk.
60-1394. Adopt Born to Celebrate as the official slogan of the City of Mobile.
So move.
Second.
Properly moved and second. Any discussion?
Yes, sir, Mr. President. I would like to read this or have Ms. Carroll read this in total so that everyone hears what we're doing.
Resolution 60-1394. Whereas the City of Mobile is a melting pot of colorful characters with over 300 years of history and enduring traditions. The city is known as the cultural center of the Gulf Coast, with a thriving arts community where diversity is partnered with creativity, and whereas it is the birthplace of Mardi Gras and embraces its history with large-scale celebrations throughout the carnival season, and whereas Mobile is recognized for its festivals and events such as the New Year's Eve Moon Pie Drop, Dolphin Street Beer Festival, Mobile International Festival, and the Greater Gulf State Fair. Whereas quiet times are also celebrated along streets adorned with moss-draped oaks, or by enjoying time on one of its many bodies of water. And whereas Mobile is born to celebrate, as evidenced by the hospitality, vibrance, and exuberance shown by its citizens. And now, therefore, be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Mobile, Alabama, that Born to Celebrate is hereby adopted as the official slogan of the City of Mobile, Alabama.
Do we want to do them both together?
Yeah. Any other discussion?
Aye.
All in favor? All opposed? Item passed. Madam Clerk.
60-1393. Adopt the iconic M as the official logo of the City of Mobile.
So moved.
Moved.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
I move that we now all take our M's.
Let's wait till we vote first.
Oh, I'm getting ahead of it.
Would like to start off, Mayor Stimson, this is my going on 13 years next month. I've been on the council. Only was able to work under Sam Jones for 11 months, but working with you for 12 years. The first couple of years, it was the opposite of a happy marriage. A happy marriage, you start off happy and then you end up bad. We kind of start off rocky, but the last 6 years, I would say that everything was smooth sailing like a honeymoon. Basically, this is a job that you did not have to have, period. You're well off, so you didn't do it for the money, just as well as Councilman Daves and Councilman Carroll. But you had a heart for the city of Mobile, a heart that is that you was able to reach many people, many meetings, community meetings we had went to, and people dogged you and trashed you, called you out your name, but you stand firm, stood firm, and you stood and represented Mobile very well throughout many trials and tribulations. You brought us a long ways, from finance through recreations. I questioned many times, especially when you made the announcement a year ago that you was not going to run again. I was like, why? I mean, you got Brooklyn by the Bay, you got a brand new airport, you got a brand new arena, but also you have a life, and you have a life and you have a family. And I do agree with you 110% about Ms. Jean. Ms. Jean has been a practical first lady of the city of Mobile, very respectful, always smiling, and stayed in her place. And that's very important, because many times that you have wives interfere with their husband's business. But I can honestly say that she has just represented the city of Mobile very well. Now the challenge is to Spiro. As you see on this front row is very diverse. And then under the Zogby Act states that, the administration must reflect the city of Mobile. Your predecessor has done very well throughout the past 12 years, and I challenge you to do the same. And I also would like to acknowledge that we had Judge Pipes, and also our DA, and also Judge Aldridge in the audience. And if I skip anyone else, I do apologize, but this means a lot that these DAs, judges, and even past congressmen came and support you on your last day of your meetings. That means a lot. So that means that you had done a great job. And I'm very proud to call you not only my mayor, but also my friend. Congratulations, and thank you for the job well done that you have done for the city of Mobile.
So trying to get through all of this without getting too emotional. So Jean, I'm not going to look at you. But, Mayor Stimson is my third mayor. I worked for Mayor Dow, I think as a lot of you know, and came in under Sam Jones, and so now with Sandy for 12 years. And Mayor, I term it as kind of a whirlwind, going through these 12 years with you. I know what CJ is talking about. Maybe those first years were a little rocky. I remember a couple of incidences that I just won't get into here. Christmas tree comes to mind. But, it's always a learning experience when you take on something like this, especially coming from private industry to government. You don't always know what you're getting into. And when you kind of realize the limitations and how things work, you kind of settle in, and then things like CJ said, honeymoon all the way. So I appreciate you for what you have done. Your steadfastness. I've never seen a man who is so unafraid to take on a challenge. And not only take it on, but stick with it and make it happen. I mean, I really appreciate that about you. And if I can learn from anything from you, it is certainly that is one of the big ones, that we have to stick to it, stick to our guns, and make things happen, because it's the right thing to do. And I really appreciate that. All of the things that Mayor Stimson has brought to us and made happen, from annexation to the Civic Center to the airport. I mean, the list just goes on and on. So thank you for all your leadership, for being with us, for being that role model, for always going out and go get them, I just really appreciate that. I think for the city of Mobile, appreciate you as well. And Gene, thank you for sharing Sandy and the family for sharing him all these years. We will miss you, but I think what you have said is continue forward, continue on. We can't sit on our laurels for sure and get complacent, because we're at a good place and we need to go forward and really carry on that legacy. So thank you very much.
Mr. President,
Yeah, Mr. Reynolds.
I guess now would be the opportunity for me to share my thoughts. I would have never been on the city council had this city not been in a good position the way it was, and it was really accomplished well before my consideration of being on the city council, and a large part of that's due to your leadership, Mr. Mayor. When you talk about not having opportunity or getting opportunities that you would not have otherwise had, I likely never would have been able to interact with you or everybody else involved with the city on the level that I've been able to interact with on the last 4 years. But I've never met a businessman that is so successful and still has so much compassion for people. There's been ups and downs. We haven't always agreed on everything, but you're always hearing my side and trying to get towards a yes on your end on my behalf. And I've tried to do that on my end. And where it could have been very easy for you to just put your foot in the ground and say, no, we're going to do it my way. But I think you recognized that you're not always right, and neither am I. And I'm a work in progress at that. And I'm a work in progress as a result of your leadership and working alongside someone like yourself who sort of sees the big picture, doesn't get caught up in the minutia all the time, finds what's important, and moves steadily towards accomplishing those goals. So your compassion, your flexibility is very important. Something you shared with me that's been extremely helpful while on the city council. Before I ran for office, I think we were having lunch somewhere. Jim Barber was there. You said, it's sometimes not always best to take a position until you fully understand all the implications of the position you're taking. What side are people going to be on? Who's coming out against you? Who's going to be with you? Fully consider all the implications of the decisions you make, and that has really slowed me down from being the aggressive, dig my heels in, my way or the highway type. And I appreciate all that I've learned from you, how to be an executive, how to sit at the head of the table. And I mean, it's not something you're born with. I mean, you got to figure this stuff out. And our new mayor is going to learn this stuff as well, that there are differing opinions, and finding the middle ground is sometimes very difficult. Thank you, Mayor Stimson. I appreciate all that you've done for the city. My kids, I asked them this morning, what do you want me to tell the mayor? And they said simply, thank you. So thank you.
Mr. President.
Mr. Penn.
Thank you, Mr. President. To the mayor, to Ms. Jean, it has been an honor for these past 4 years. President Small speak about the challenges. Well, I was a part of the honeymoon, thank the Lord. You truly has been a blessing. Today, I had the opportunity to ride down Highway 45. And I had tears in my eyes because the first time I got in office, I said, Mayor, you came to Tomerville. You did a cleanup day. You walked in the community. And I said, Mayor, when people enter the city of Mobile, they enter in from Pritchard into Mobile on Highway 45. We need to see change. And you supported it. And so today, I'm riding down Highway 45, and I saw kids in uniform walking down the sidewalk, not in the middle of the street. They was on paved sidewalks, just beautiful curve and gutter, and that's because of your leadership. I want to truly thank you for being who you are. You're a man of faith. You speak about that. You live it. You don't just talk about it. You walk in it. And your faith have put the city of Mobile in the position that we're in, and that's through your leadership. Area executive leader here, I have a great relationship. I'm a very passionate person, and sometimes my passion can get a little out there sometimes. But y'all never try to think that it's personal. You always move forward and help me figure out how we can move District 1 forward. So to you, Mayor, to you, Ms. Jean, and your family, you're an example to the city, to the executive staff. Thank you so much for these past 4 years, and I'm looking forward to move this city forward with Mayor Spiro and the rest of the team and my colleagues. Thank you again.
Well, if I could make a comment, thank you for that comment, but one of the things that you'll always be able to say to your constituents is that for 20-plus years, Fred Richardson tried to get Highway 45 paid, but you can tell him you got it done in 4 years.
Mr. President.
Mr. Woods.
Mayor Stimson, I'll be brief. I think I am the one that served the briefest amount of time with you, but can tell you that over the last 12 years, watching you, admiring you, and really you're one of the reasons, and I've said this before at multiple events when I've had the opportunity to introduce you. I could count on one hand the amount of elected officials that I've picked out that I admire and that I strive to be like. And you're one of them, and I greatly appreciate you, and thank you for your leadership in the city of Mobile. 12 years ago, me and Kristen were childless, living the 20-something-year-old life, and both of us had a very big passion for the city of Mobile, served in our capacities and our careers, and you came on the scene, and you became mayor, and you basically not only inspired me to public service, so thank you. I would not be sitting here today without your leadership and the model that you've modeled, but also too you've worked tremendously hard, hours, days, nights, weeks, months, years, to ensure that Mobile is a place that I can raise my family. So thank you for that, and I appreciate everything you've done, and thank you, Ms. Jean, and your family for giving up Mayor Stimson for 12 years and letting him lead our city. So on behalf of me personally, thank you. On behalf of the people of District 6, thank you. And on behalf of the new residents in the city of Mobile that I now represent that were annexed in, thank you. So thank you, Mr. Mayor, and we appreciate you greatly.
Mr. President.
Mr. Carroll.
Thank you. First, my wife told me to be brief and to be short, so I will do that. Ms. Jean, I still love a cold beer. I still do it. And I appreciate that opportunity to sit and talk and have a good time with you on our leadership trip. I've been around this city involved in either boards or politics or on this council for 3 mayors. I served on boards with Mike. I was a council member under Mr. Jones, and now a council member under Mayor Stimson. And just to briefly give you a good picture of where we were and where we are, all the underbrush in this city has been cut. The path is clear now. We know where we're going. And that's because we've had an opportunity over the last 12 years to have a clearly defined path on what we can do and where we can go. As an engineer, you're always taught to say no to everything until the numbers are clear, until you have a definite end to where you're supposed to be. Without vision, you can't do anything. And the vision that's been set forth over the last 12 years is clear. Some of us sometimes are afraid to say what needs to be said, but sometimes you just have to have the courage to say it and then to do it. And over the last 12 years, we've done that. And now we're going in a direction that we need to continue to go in. So I applaud you for the work over the last 12 years. I look forward to seeing what this city produces over the next 12 years. Mobile, as I say, is the greatest city in the state of Alabama. And we have the greatest people working for us. Mayor, I commend you for developing the staff that you have, which is truly blended and balanced. And I hope that the legacy of those conditions move forward with the next administration. Thank you, Mr. President.
Mr. President, Sandy, you know, the thing about going back to the financials, and I'm not going to spend a whole bunch of time because I spent 12 years talking about this, and most people have heard me talk about it over and over, but you know, when Mayor Stimson came into office, there was basically nothing in the operating account, the general fund. We had $300 million in debt. $100 million unfunded liability in the police and firefighter pension plan. We were spending nothing on capital. We had rolling stock in the police department that had 150,000 miles on it. We hadn't replaced the garbage trucks and the fire trucks and so forth. And when we look at it today, it's a completely different story. We've got $100 million over $100 million in the general fund. We've got the funding available to build the new arena. We have, we'll pay off the unfunded liability in police and firefighters pension plan next year, probably sometime. We would have been able to pay off all of the debt in the next several years, but now we have it to do the arena. At the same time, we've been spending not $5 million a year on capital, but $50 million a year on capital. We got our rolling stock is all up to date. We're repaving the streets. We're doing the drainage. We've made all these repairs. It would have been so easy for a new mayor to come in and just kind of limp along, because it's the challenges at the beginning of Mayor Stimson's first term were gigantic, and he had, in order to get us to where we are today, he and his team had to make a lot of very difficult decisions that were hard to do, and it took guts to make those decisions. But we are where we are today thanks to your leadership, and thank you very much. And to Gene, what I'd like to say is thank you for being with him every step of the way and being willing to put up with this for 12 years and being missing him most of the time. But now, Gene, the challenge is, what the hell are you going to do with him now that you got him?
Any other discussion?
Mr. President.
Madam Clerk.
Mr. Mayor, having the most unique position with the City of Mobile as a city employee, I am the only employee of the city that takes direction from the City Council. However, I hope that you have felt that in my position that I've always had your back and that I've looked after you when the occasion presented itself. Thank you so much, Ms. Jean. We got to spend time together the first year when the city hosted the Alabama League of Municipalities here, and I struck fear on her face when I said, now you got to go and say a speech, Ms. Jean. And she said, what? No. I said, oh, I'm just kidding. So, but thank you for giving us such a great leader. You will be missed, and I hope that you have felt that we have also looked after you in the city clerk's office as we do our council.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Resolution passed.
All right, so pin ceremony here.
Mr. President, did you want me to read the resolution?
Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, while we're doing the pinning ceremony, why don't you finish reading the resolution so that
Okay.
everybody understands?
Resolution 60-1393. Whereas Mayor William S. Stimson created the unique, incredible, iconic M, which offers the world a new face of progress in our historic city. And whereas the iconic M represents the progress, transformation, and history of Mobile, while also promoting Mayor Stimson's vision of One Mobile. And whereas the iconic M offers a polished, unforgettable first impression, helps attract attention to and instill confidence in Mobile from our citizens, guests, and investors. And whereas the City Council of the City of Mobile, Alabama, desires to honor Mayor William S. Stimson upon the occasion of his retirement, whereby commemorating his tenure as the 108th mayor of the City of Mobile. And whereas the iconic M is independent, separate, and does not replace the official seal of Mobile, now, therefore, be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Mobile, Alabama, that the iconic M is adopted as the official logo of the City of Mobile, Alabama, as depicted in the graphic and specifications attached.
Picture time.
Yeah, let's get a
Picture
photo.
time.
Yeah.
Picture time.
Appreciate your friendship.
Hey, can we do two? One where we show off our lapels, and then the other one kind of just a regular. We'll do this one first?
So for those of y'all that can't see this, typically before we take a picture, I ask the photographer what it says. Are both of my hairs in place?
All right, let's show off our lapel pins,
Yeah.
everybody.
Let's show the lapel pin. One more time.
Oh.
Thank you.
Thank
you,
you.
CJ. Yep, thank you.
Appeals. We have requests for waiver of the noise ordinance on November 29th and 30th at Herndon Sage Park, November 7th on Springwood Drive East.
So moved.
Second.
Properly moving second, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Appeal passes.
Presentation of petitions and other communications to the council. Richard Johnson.
Good morning. Good morning. Morning. City Council, Mayor, its administration. My name is Richard Johnson, owner, Fat Tuesday Sports Bar and Grill. The mayor's left, but I wanted to tell him I was at the Tucker concert 12 years ago. And if in fact he was wondering who picked the tab up at Windsor's, him and his entourage, it was me, showing my appreciation for his leadership. Getting back to my business. I am privileged to be a successful business owner for 15 years at my sports bar. It's just within the last 3 months, whatever, I became a nuisance for some reason, I don't know. I know I caused the police to prevent things from happening. I try not to let it happen and call the police. Young lady behind me said she called the police every Friday, Saturday night. If she did that, she'd have made 104 calls in a year herself. So phone calls shouldn't matter. Once you're paying taxes, this is something that you pay taxes for. If, in fact, the police prevent problems, it wouldn't be problems. I refuse to sit back and watch something transpire, start to transpire, if I don't do anything about it. Now, I have 3 police out of my parking lot. I got 16 cameras around my building. Anything happen in the vicinity of my building, you on camera. For the lieutenant to come and sit in front of my building every week, he wasn't called, he was harassing my business. He have ran all my business off. Now, if in fact, I know you vote whether to shut me down or not, If you shut me down, I got 10 families depending on my business. If in fact we can come to a compromise, I'm willing to do that. But I think I got the safest business in the city.
Yeah, your time has expired. Was you finished, Mr. Johnson?
I'm good.
Yeah, let me ask you a question, Mr. Johnson. You said that compromise. What you mean by compromise?
Harassment. When I said lieutenant?
No, you said that you're willing to compromise.
Compromise, yeah. I mean, if in fact I have to alter my hours of operations or whatever, Saturday night is the only night that I have over 15 people in my place. And that's 3 o'clock and above, because I got the best chicken wings on the planet. They're gonna come and get those chicken wings. And at 2 o'clock in the morning, I don't have nobody in my place. I sit there and leave the place open for them to come, because they're gonna come get them chicken wings. I don't care where they are. But if of late, they just loitering around my place. I called the police, have them send some units out to disperse this crowd, because I know something is going to happen. I don't want them out there. They don't be in my place. I might have 15, 30 people in my place. You got 1,000 people outside.
Okay. All right. Any questions or comments from the council? Okay. All right. Thank you.
William or Brenda Perriman?
Good morning.
Good morning.
I got to take my mask off for this one. This is my last time going to come down.
Full name.
Oh, Belinda Perriman. I never knew Rick. I never knew who owned the club. I used to speak with Miss Keisha, and she said that she would take care of the noise, the traffic, the people getting out the cars, partying on the street, shooting. I have 3 daughters that live out of Mobile, and the only time that they can come is on weekends. The last time one of my daughters came, somebody got killed, like about 50 feet from my house. I have anything against the club. It's just the disturbance. And I have to be to work early in the mornings. And I keep coming down over and over. I used to didn't come down, but it got to be that one of the council members went and told Rick that I came to the city council meeting to talk about him getting closed. I never said I wanted him closed. I just want the disturbance to stop. Okay, so when one of the council meeting went and told him, then he came to my house, and my husband answered the door. We didn't open the door because we didn't know what was going on. So I think that was inappropriate for a council meeting to go and tell him the situation. So all I'm asking is, if his club do stay open, can it be closed at a certain time where the noise and the traffic, and then the young people, they don't care what you say to them, and we putting our lives in jeopardy not to park in front of the house. And my neighbor, she passed now, but she was also with this, calling police. We're not the only one that called the police. We have other neighbors that live down at the other end also could not get into their driveway because of the parking. I've asked if we can get signs saying no parking. Nothing never happens. And then about our area, it's just gone down completely. We have nothing. Nothing. From the one end of St. Stephen's Road.
Ms. Perriman, your time
Yes.
has expired. Is
Okay.
another councilman would like to stand here a minute? Okay. If not, Ms. Perriman, let me ask a question. You said that no parking signs were ever put out in front of on your street?
Never.
Because it was told to us that parking signs was put out and people knocked them down and.
Never. Rick came to us and asked if he give us some cones to put in front of our houses, and he gave us two cones. We did used to put those two cones, one at my neighbor's and one in front of ours. They'll move that or knock it down. So we just put them across the street. It didn't matter.
But no parking signs were ever put up?
Ever.
Okay. And I don't want to put nobody on blast. All right.
Ask
Thank
the
you.
question, Mr. President.
Yeah,
You don't have to
because
put
I
nobody on
thought it
blast.
was told to this council that no parking signs was put up.
The signs were requested by me through standard procedures. I was told that the signs were put up. When we went over, we checked, the signs were gone. So to say that the signs were never put there, the written request was made by me. What was it, a little bit over a year ago or somewhere between a year ago. So the signs were put there. Now, who took them down, we don't know. Now, if you didn't see them, the city put them up.
What kind of signs?
No parking signs.
Never.
So, I mean, I think that the city departments can verify their actions. Now, I don't know where they were put or if they didn't put in a place that you visually saw them, but they can verify that the signs were put up. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Justin, is it Brock?
Let me make one memo before you call non-agenda items. We do have an item that is on the agenda. It's up under public hearing. And it's, if you come down talking about the items that's under public hearing, remember, this is just calling for a public hearing. So the only thing that you're allowed to speak on is should the council call for a public hearing or not. Not again, into some details about anything else. Madam Clerk.
So, Justin Bach, this is regarding 411392.
Mr. President, ladies and gentlemen of the City Council, good morning and thank you for the chance to be here. My name is Justin Bach. I serve as President of Acadian Ambulance Service. And Mr. President, just to clarify, we wanted to just spend 2 minutes to introduce who we were in advance of the 12th of November. Would this be a forum in which to not do that?
Again, 1392 is what you're speaking of?
Of the 12th of November hearing, yes, sir.
Yeah, again, only speaking on should we call this public hearing or not. That's it.
Roger that.
Yeah.
Okay. The intent was to just introduce who we were. I guess we'll wait until into this.
Should we call this public hearing or not? Yeah, that's the only thing that you can speak on. If you're speaking on 41-1392.
We would certainly request the opportunity to do that, Mr. President, yes.
And again, this is coming up for public hearing on November the 12th, and you can speak at that time.
Beautiful. Thank you very much.
All right.
Thank you for your time.
Mike Sandel regarding 411392.
Mike Sandell with Newman's Ambulance. A little confused about here whether we speak on this or not in opposition or this is held over into the 12th.
Yeah, the only thing what's on the agenda is should we call for a public hearing or not? That's the only thing you can speak of. And we're coming back with a public hearing on November the 12th.
The actual public hearing is
The actual
November
public
the
hearing is on November the 12th.
Thank you.
Kenneth Hughes regarding 41-1392.
Kenneth Hughes, Medevac, Alabama. Only thing I would say is that we weren't notified of the public hearing. Usually something's
This is
mailed
the
out.
Yes, this is the notification today. Should the council
Okay, so
call
the-
for a public
it'll be mailed
hearing or
out
not?
later? Okay, I
Yes,
gotcha.
the public hearing will be, if the council vote for it, on November the 12th, 2025.
Okay.
A couple
All right.
weeks.
Thank you, sir.
Nick Lacus regarding 37-1346.
Good morning, members of the council. Wanted to come down this morning and offer a different I'm sorry. Nick Lacus, University of South Alabama. Do you mind? Vice President for Government Relations at the University of South Alabama, which also includes the USA Health System, which, as most of you know, encompasses nearly 12,000 employees and a pretty major enterprise in both education and healthcare throughout the region. We typically don't weigh in on these issues, okay? Our concern coming down here today is purely in that rooted in concern for our families, our patients, and our healthcare workers. Of the nearly 12,000 employees at USA, nearly 1,500 of them work at Children and Women's Hospital. And in front of you is a map showing that the business in question is 438 feet from where we have all hours of the night. 30,000 children come through that pediatric emergency department every year. 1,400 to 1,500 healthcare workers working 24 hours a day around the clock that walk through these remote parking lots for fear of what might happen. And as I said in my email, if you could imagine, would we be questioning this if it was less than 500 feet from an elementary school? Why should the Children's Hospital be any different? Another thing that I thought about as you're looking at that map, if you see at the end of the 438, the one that goes north, you see that little square. That square represents 25,000 gallons of fuel. Imagine what a stray bullet would do to 25,000 gallons of fuel. Imagine what that would do to the Children's Tower. The big square just above that, with this cross on it, is our helipad. We have 3 helicopters that land every day. Again, sometimes mostly at night. I ask you, what would a stray bullet do to thousands of gallons of jet fuel? And those are accidents that haven't happened yet. So maybe I'm speaking to a problem that doesn't exist, but it's better to speak to it now rather than after the fact. So I just ask that you consider that as we look at this scenario in its proximity to the children, healthcare workers, and all that fuel. Thank you.
Reggie Hill regarding 37-1346, 03-1370, 03-1371, 60-1393, 08-1383, 09-1385.
Thank you, Madam City Clerk, and to the citizens and stakeholders of Mobile. Greetings, Reggie Hill is my name. Before I begin, I want to show my appreciation for Administrative Secretary Clark, affectionately known as Ms. Shirley. A lot of accolades have been given today, but she as well will be retiring. And a lot of my Tuesdays are very special because she's here. So I just want to give her flowers while she can still see them as well. To the citizens and stakeholders of Mobile, I rise today to, in spirit of the World Series season, to play cleanup. We've had a lot going on today. Let's get some correction and order in this place. Let's begin, please, with 03-1370. This is about the reappointment of Ms. Brenda Jackson to the Mobile Library Board. That was my 7th grade English teacher. I'm very appreciative to see her back in that capacity. She's done a lot of service for the city in that role, and it's good to see her back on there. 03-1371. This is for Ms. Maxine Walters going to the MHA board. We realize this is about 5 people that have been added to this board in the past year, and we saw that those individuals who came on most recently, the first action that they took was to get rid of the executive director. So I'm hoping that in the future, we can look at recidivism as we approve these individuals, because obviously something is going on over there, and we don't really have oversight over that. There should be an approval metrics. If we're going to allow someone to appoint these individuals from administration, there should be something that this body is looking at to determine who is going over there to determine public housing in the city of Mobile. And we have the investigatory powers, because there are a lot of things happening that we are unaware of, and it's going to be very dependent on who it is we put in these positions of power. Let's look, please, at 37, that's 1346, and this is the potential revocation of the business license. We know that there were no signs like this, but we as well understand that similar to the Mardi Gras era where they put them up and can be taken down, if it's such an issue, let's look at how we can at least do that. I think this gives us room to why we need to look at Chapter 46 of the Mobile Municipal Code. We need some additional training that we should be seeing for our police officers. We need to really look at this incident calls as well, because we saw where neighbors have come down to say how many times they called, and then we saw the last time of the 200-something calls that were made, more than 80% is what was at this podium were made by the owner of the business. I think these things are being overlooked. Let's look at, for sake of time, and that off-duty officers. I think we really need to look at the contracts for that. 08-1383. That's going to Gulf Coast Technology Center. Please look at that. And just for time's sake, because I know that everybody doesn't get the extra a lot, that 11.8 million, we're finessing by saying the budget's not increasing. We put that big number out there so that we can kind of fool the people. We'll come back and talk to you later. But the 60, that's 1393. We know we went to court over this logo. We have an official seal. I don't understand why we are talking about keeping our traditions, and yet we're doing away with so much. And so much money has been wasted on allowing that to be put out there. So I know I'm not going to be favored by that position, but we have something that we should treasure and take care of here in the city of Mobile. Thank you for yielding the floor.
Just for the record, the city still have its official seal. Nothing has not been adopted by this council. Born to Celebrate was never adopted, it was tabled. And so today we do have a new logo and we do have a new slogan. Madam Clerk.
Ordinance is held over. 52046, adopt Chapter 52, Real Property Maintenance and Enforcement, Article 8, Vacant Structure Registry for Henry Aaron Loop.
Move to lay over 2 weeks.
Second.
Promptly moving second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Item laid over 2 weeks.
64054, consider the proposed conditional use permit for property located at 2316 Hillwood Drive West. 64055, consider the modification of a previously approved planned unit development for property located at 550 Providence Park Drive East.
Moved.
Second.
Promptly moving second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Item passed.
11056, amend Chapter 11, Article 3, Section 11 of the City Code to include subsection titled Alabama Construction Trade Academy Fund Fees.
Move to lay over 1 week.
Second.
Promptly moving second. In discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Item laid over for 1 week.
CIP resolutions held over. 211362, authorized contract with Amerson Roofing for Hillsdale Senior Center roof replacement.
So moved.
Second.
Promptly moving second. In discussion?
Yes, sir, Mr. President.
Madam Vice?
This is moving forward on our effort to provide a separate senior center for seniors who participate in programs in Hillsdale. They have been using the recreation center for years, where they share with teenagers and other younger children. So this will give them their own special place. This is the beginning. We have another contract coming our way for the rest of the renovations, but I just want them to know that we are moving forward on a project that we had promised for those seniors in Hillsdale.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Item passed.
Consent resolutions held over. 371356, recommend approval to the ABC Board for issuance of a retail beer, table wine, off-premises only license for DIP Club Food Mart on Dolphin Island Parkway.
So moved.
Second.
Properly moving second. In discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Item passed.
Resolutions held over. 371346, revoke the business license at 1608 St. Stephen's Road.
So moved.
Second.
Properly moving second. Any discussion? I would like to say that I will abstain from this, and that just because I have heard no parking signs, there was parking sign. The parking sign was not down. Now, the resident that's complaining or had complained in the past, she was saying that she had never seen parking signs. And the question is at hand is, was there ever parking signs put out? And if so, whereabout was it? And I just have several other questions, so I will be abstaining from this on today.
Mr. President?
Mr. Penn.
Thank you, Mr. President. On last week, I asked the same thing. I said, well, what could we do? Could we tow vehicles? Did we put everything in place? And with the resident coming and stating that she also didn't see the parking signs, that's a concern for me. So to move forward, I think it's very vital for me to have all the information. So I'll be joining President Small with abstaining as well.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Abstain.
Abstain.
Item passed, 5-2 abstentions. Madam Clerk.
09-1365, appropriate funds into the Rebuild Alabama Special Revenue Fund.
So moved.
Second.
Properly moved and second in discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Item passed.
21-1366, authorized contract with Spire LLC for marketing services for Parks and Recreation Department.
So moved.
Second.
Properly moved and second in discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Item passed.
Consent resolutions being introduced for the first time, 03-1369 through 60-1394.
Move to waive the rules for immediate consideration of these resolutions as read.
Second.
Properly moved and second in discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Rules waived. Madam Clerk.
03-1369, 1370, and 1371, appoint Robert Hope to the History Museum of Mobile Board, reappoint Brenda Jackson to the Mobile Library Board, and appoint Maxine Walters to the Mobile Housing Authority Board. 58-1372, authorize removal of weeds, Group 1670. 60-1373, approval award of special bonus to the Administrative Services Employee of the Month. 60-1374 through 60-1380, determine appropriations to Family Counseling Center of Mobile, Inc., U.J. Robinson Memorial Center, Marching Cougars Band, the Child Advocacy Center, serve a public purpose, and approve payment.